welcome to the Sharon and Joe Show. My name is Sharon.
Hi everybody, my name's Joe.
I feel like I sound super congested.
We're in Ohio, you guys, and it was a beautiful day out today. It was like 65, 66 degrees out, but before that it was like 38 and 44. It's getting a little depressing, but it could be the change of weather.
It's because I was crying.
It's the degrees, honey.
It was because I was crying.
Oh, was it because you were crying?
Yes, that's just why. But I'm trying, like, I can hear it in my voice. So just so you know, like Joe and I were talking earlier, I was feeling bad for myself.
Yeah, I just listened to you guys because that's what I need to do, is just listen to Sharon and really take in so I can kind of understand. So I'm glad. I hope you're feeling better.
You know what? This is the thing, you guys. Like, I'll tell you this. This isn't what the video is about, but I can hear it in my voice. So, like, when I replay the video, I'm going to hear it. So, just so you know, I am struggling. I was trying to tell Joe, like, so hard with just... And this isn't what the video is about, so I'll just kind of say this and we can move on from it. I feel like I really was, like... I feel like I was really fucked over, is what I feel like, and I'm having a lot of trouble with it. Like, I'm really struggling with it, and it's something I think about on a regular basis. And I just talked to Joe about it earlier, like a little while ago. So, but that is kind of what I feel.
Yeah, and so if you guys got any suggestions for Sharon or whatever, it'll be better coming from you guys than me, because this is how close we are. But yeah, I don't know if you want to go into it a little bit more, like when you
No, like I might do a video with you guys next week. I gotta say, basically, I really feel
you're giving a shaft.
No, like, yeah, like I just, you know what it is? I just feel like there's like this male-female thing, and I just feel like I got ripped off, and it just sucks. It's a hard thing that I'm struggling with, and maybe some of you can relate to. I'm not really saying. I'll talk about it more in depth, but this is something I'm dealing with. So if you hear me, like if you're a woman especially, and you can read between the lines, you know what I'm saying. Like, just give me a thumbs up. But that's not what today's video is. But maybe I'll talk about this in the upcoming video.
Yeah, that sounds good, you guys. So I'm gonna hold you accountable to that. I definitely want you to. It can help you out. There's a lot of, our family is also on this channel, and there's a lot of really good wisdom and insight that people could give us, and things that they've gone through that could help you. So, you give it, you'd be able to receive too.
I think other people can relate to me. But anyways, today's video. So this is what I'm dealing with, so you can hear my congested voice, because I was feeling bad for myself a little while ago.
And the chickens in the background, because we're in the garage doing our video. So Sharon was talking about, which I think was a while back, that she still wants to talk about narcissism, but she kind of wanted to go in a different angle.
Well, it's not so much a different angle. Let me break it down to you this way. So let me just ask you this, Joe. Do you remember the days when we thought, this is just a couple of years ago. Do you remember the days that we thought that narcissism was the big event in the world, in our life?
Like being awakened to oh my God, I can't believe monsters, they really do exist. Yeah, and I know also a lot of times we always try to focus on the solution, but I think part of the journey and the recovery, we talked about it often and a lot, and I don't know if that was...
Well, it's just this is the thing, you guys. I feel like something has changed. Like the way that we thought about life, even when you and I used to talk about, we did the Sharon and Joe show a couple years ago, that was like a different world.
Well, it's funny because we were talking, Sharon and I, we've come to the realization the last, I don't know how it's been, we want to know what you guys think. You know how, and I'm sure you can experience this on a micro level, as far as dealing with narcissism and believing a lie and being in a game that you didn't even know you were in, but more on a macro level as far as what's going on in the world today. And we've been listening to some other people and talking to other people too. It's just a red flag. My instinct is saying something's not right as far as what we see isn't what we should be believing. I feel like we're in a scripted movie.
You guys, something is happening. I can feel it. I don't know. It's let me ask you, Joe, because Joe and I had roughly the same. You had kids a little bit earlier than me, but roughly the same time frame, right? We got married, had kids, and lived our life. When I think about early mid 2000s when when we had kids, the way that I thought about life is just we're living in I was living in I don't want to say I feel like we were all living in I don't want to say the matrix, but the reality that I feel today is nothing like Paris recently told me that a friend of hers was she got married about a year ago and she was already pregnant. So here's like this 22-year-old girl that's married and pregnant, and it was like normally if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, 'cause I'm all about it. Like I used to I used to be big and to get married as young as possible. Like I was all into that. Like that's the way it should be. Like go for it, right? I was not this person that was like, oh, have your career. No, like get married. Like I was all into that. But when Paris told me that her friend and this sweet girl, like I know this sweet young lady, is just an amazing young lady, and she's having this baby, and Paris tells me this, and my first thought was, oh my God, are you serious? It was horror, like bringing a child into this world, and that was crazy for me to think.
Yeah, and I was wondering, like, is it that I'm getting older now, so I'm a little bit more wise, and going through what all of us have been through, I think one of the gifts that we could get is discernment. It's a gift that's given to us. That when I'm reading or watching something that's news related, well, it's like I'm seeing right through it. It's just, has it always been that way, and now I'm just older and more wise, or what's going on? Like, there's just so much crazy misinformation, and it's just nuts.
All right, this just sounds crazy to me. You guys, I would have thought this was, I don't even know, like just like you would have needed to be in a mental asylum if you thought this way just a few years ago. But I'm telling you, there is something going on in this world. I believe that it's possible. This sounds nuts, but that it is possible that our world is truly run by this upper echelon of people, right? Like above our government, that are child's, predators, and they're drinking blood and the adrenochrome, like all this crazy crap that you hear, and that the people that are in charge of us, our government, the world governments, are actually nothing. They're puppets, they're actors. I feel like I'm watching The Bold and the Beautiful, and this is our world, and we believed that this was all accurate, but it's all completely false. And we're living in this reality that we had no concept of, that truly the Bible is accurate and we're living among Satan.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds crazy.
As a Christian, like Sharon and I have our own faith in that. I'm just, I'm learning more about history and how it was like rewritten, and how, the things that happened during the 60s and the what was it, the women's rights movement, and certain things that were done, the black what was civil rights, like things that were actually done that they thought were helping other people out, winded up tearing apart the social fabric of our family. Just basic Christian fundamentals like family, God, like things, even if you weren't Christian, make sense for a society to kind of come together. Now, all kinds of crazy crap is happening about, like, we're learning about this flat earth theory, vaccines, and COVID.
Isn't that crazy? For real, like, this sounds crazy to me, you guys. Paris has these friends, right? And they're these great people. They're amazing people. But the father said, it was like 2 years ago, he said suddenly that he believed that possibly we're living in this flat earth society and we've never gone to the moon. And when Paris first told me this, I was like, what? Are you serious? It sounded crazy to me. And today, I'm thinking to myself, maybe. It seems plausible. It seems believable to me. And I said to Joe, can you imagine where we're going to be next year at this time?
Yeah, they're talking.
We're going to be wearing tinfoil hats.
Who knows?
I don't know.
With AI, and then they're dumping a couple more $1 trillion into this. The smart cities, it's the one world government, the 2030 agenda, or whatever they got going out. Like, but there's a lot of it is misinformation, but I believe a lot of it is like my gut instinct that I learned, to, especially after what we've been through, to trust something ain't right. Like, even as far as, it's not even just about the politics, we're even thinking like that might just be a made up game just to kind of keep us like, it's like watching a football game or something like that, or a game. It's like we're spectators, and does it really matter who's in and who's not? I know that sounds nutty, and I'm not saying I'm full board in. I'm definitely like, could be now. Like, yeah, anything's possible now. It doesn't faze me at all. I wonder if if we really knew the truth, like if we really knew what was going on, we probably have some serious PTSD.
Well, like PTSD, like I feel like there's a possibility that our world is literally run. This is crazy to me. Like I totally get this. Like if somebody's listening to this and being like, "Oh my gosh, like you need to be like get into the mental hospital." Maybe I do, but I'm telling you. Tell us. Let us know. Please tell us in the comments. Email us. Like let me know, because I feel like Joe and I are both on the same page here. What the hell is going on? I believe that it is possible that our world literally is run by this upper echelon of people above our government that are truly in charge, and they might not even be human. That truly the Bible is absolutely true. Now, because this is the thing, like I always would have told you I believed in the Bible at any point in my life. But God to me was Santa Claus. Like I had no concept, I didn't know. I'm beginning to realize now, like this understanding of what the heck is really going on, and it is insane. Our world is crazy.
Well, you heard it in Europe. I think it's Great Britain that they want to start putting microchips, implanting them into people's under their skin. It's something like that, where they're doing a microchip thing, where in order to fly, in order to travel, in order to buy food, whatever, like that's the way they're going to identify people. That's like that doesn't sound right. Taking away freedom of speech. Just, oh my God, you guys, it all boils down to, okay, if we really are slaves, like if we really are just a bunch of working ants and bees, and they're trying to slowly kill us off, and they're putting poison in our food and this and that, and what do they call it, the dust crops?
But think about that, like the things, guys. Like, I think America is the worst in the world. I could be wrong about this, but I think we're the worst in the world. And what we put in our food. Like, this is the thing, like, Joe, like, when I first moved to New Hampshire, I started this co-op with the kids. We went to this homeschool co-op, and it was this crunchy, hippie co-op, right? And the people there...
What's a co-op?
Well, a co-op is like if you homeschool, like if there's co-ops are very popular. It's kind of like a schooling, like if you homeschool, you can homeschool your child yourself at your home, but co-ops are very popular. So it'd be like a bunch of parents who homeschool, and you basically educate your children together. So like I could be a teacher of like a bunch of kids, like so it's basically a school with a bunch of like homeschool parents that teach the classes, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like so where were we going with this?
You were talking about the couple that were the doctor or something, or wife talked about the vaccines or something. You were at the co-op. You were.
That was like, you know what? I guess, yeah. All right, I'll tell you the story. So I started this co-op with the kids in New Hampshire, right? And this is where I was going. So at the time, I had no knowledge at all about vaccines, sugar, anything like that. So I was like the person going, we'd have like, it's Christmas, whatever. And I'd be bringing cookies, whatever. And everyone else was these crunchy people bringing this like no sugar or this organic gross stuff, right? And I was like, what the hell? I was completely out of my element. And there was this one woman there though. And her husband was a physician, like a real physician. Like he wasn't like a, like kooky guy. He was a real legit doctor. And she said to me one day, she was like, just out of the blue, like I wasn't even really friendly with her, but she came up to me and she was like, don't get your kids vaccinated. Don't get them vaccinated. And like, that was it. Like she was like, had this whole thing on vaccination. And at the time, my kids were older. So thank God, like I'll tell you, vaccinations, Paris, I stopped going to the pediatrician when Paris was around 11-ish or so. The reason for that is because I was really offended. I just, not offended, but there was something really wrong when they had, so you guys can tell me because this has happened to me. It's happened to other people I know as well. if you have a daughter who's, when she reaches 10, 11-ish, the pediatrician doesn't want you in the room anymore. Now they want to talk to your daughter themselves. The reason for this is because they want to talk about birth control. So they're trying to take your 10, 11-year-old daughter away. And they wanted to have, like, my pediatrician. I want to tell you something. My pediatrician, do you guys know, if you know Kurt Schilling? He was a famous pitcher on the Boston Red Sox. I went to the same pediatrician as his kids. So I went to a pediatrician in Medfield, Massachusetts. I won't say the name, but it was like it was the same as Kurt Schilling. We went to the same doctor as him. And this doctor wanted Paris when she was 11-ish, that range. She wanted her to have, I can't remember the name, it was some shot, Gardasil, I think it was Gardasil. And it was something with like a sexually transmitted disease, like with boys, like somehow my daughter needed to be vaccinated so she could protect boys from getting, it was some cancer, it was some crazy thing. And I said, no, I wouldn't do it. And they were trying to take her, like I wasn't allowed in the room anymore because it was just crazy. So I stopped going to the pediatrician. Thank God, because I homeschooled, I was able to have a little leniency with that. Like school wasn't constantly on my mind. My son had about half his vaccines. Thank God.
Well, tell them why. I mean, like there's a whole bunch of research being done, and there's medical experts in the country saying that. I mean, did you see the list of vaccines that they have now compared to when we were kids? They had vaccines. There was like what 6 or 7 of them when we were kids to have, and now there's how many?
There's I'm telling you off the top of my head, so keep this in mind. It's something along the lines. Joe and I were born in the 70s, so as late as 1986, if I'm telling you this accurate, which I believe I'm telling you the truth, it was something along the lines of you would have 8 or 9 vaccines today, but between 0 and 12 months today. Children born today have something like over 30 vaccines. It is insane. And and this is the thing, and this really bothers me. Like, I don't know if you ever thought about this. When I had my children, I had them at Beth Israel Hospital in Boston, Massachusetts. Both my kids at Beth Israel. And right away, the first thing they do is they put the vitamin K in their eyes, right? They take all the, even when I think about this now, like, this is just like messed up. I don't know if I'd have a baby at the hospital today, but they immediately put the vaccine in, the vitamin K. They want to take, if you have a son, they want to take him, like, they want within a day to have that kid, like, circumcised, right? They want to take that kid out. They want all these things, they want all these vaccines. I didn't do anything. The kids probably, I think they got vitamin K. I did no vaccines. I didn't do any vaccines on my kids until they were 6 months old. And the reason for that is I was thinking to myself, this actually pisses me off today. I'm a new mother. My kids got nothing until they were 6 months old because I felt like, why do they need this? Like my son was not circumcised. We're not Jewish. I was completely against that. Like, why are they taking my kid away? I was feeling this way. I was like, why are they doing all this? Like, I was complete, but I didn't know. I was against it, and they didn't do it until they were 6 months old. Then I started getting the vaccine. So my kids were always behind. So Paris, when she was, now Paris went to school. She went to public school for K through 2. They both my kids went to preschool. My son never went to public school. He went to preschool only. Paris went to school through 2nd grade, so she had to get the vaccines or whatever, like do that. Since then, so Paris has had about half her vaccines, maybe a little bit more. My son has had less than that, but when I hear about what's in these vaccines, I'm disgusted that I let my kids get any, because I was feeling like I felt like they were wrong. Like even like, well, I can remember thinking, why the hell are my kids getting a hepatitis B vaccine? It's a sexually transmitted disease. You know what I've heard since then? It was like because they had this vaccine out there and they had spent all this money on it, so they wanted
pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes down to, like, I believe, whatever, the COVID-19 or whatever. It could have been some kind of flu, like a flu strain of some sort, but the way they did this, it was like a gigantic social experiment.
Well, let's go into that, because we were talking about vaccines. I'm talking about my kids like 20 years later. Like, COVID, what the hell happened there? Like, what was that? Like,
Did you say that there's nurses that were laid off? Like, there's nurses.
All right, this is the thing, you guys. if you, back in the day, like in 2020, right? Like, if you remember, I can remember hearing this. I was living in New Hampshire at the time. And this is what I heard, that all over the world, including in New Hampshire, all of Europe, whatever, that people were at the hospital in the hallway, just bodies like stacked up. Like, people were just so sick, they just had no beds, right? I personally knew 2 or 3 nurses who were laid off during COVID. What, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're laid off, but COVID is like, but people piled up in the hallways of the hospital.
And I was telling Shane, like in a weird way, this does kind of link to the purpose of the channel. I think there's a handful of cluster B personality disorders, psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists that are pulling strings, and it's just, we just wanted to know, I guess, are we the only ones that feel that way, you know, or what do you guys think?
I'm at the point now where I'm going to tell you guys this. All right. Now, because I'm saying this, like, I want to just tell you, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm giving you my personal opinion, right? This is not medical advice. As a veterinarian, I can tell you straight up, my personal belief is that getting vaccines and feeding my dogs, my Bichon Frises, standard food, which is always like good food, right? Like, I was never feeding them like crappy food, right? I gave them good food, prompt medical care. I'm a veterinarian, like, I was really serious about their health care. Both of my Bichon, I got Bichon Frises. Like, the reason I got Bichon Frises were 2 reasons. One is that they were hypoallergenic, and my son at the time, I don't believe this now, but at the time I believed he was allergic to cats. I don't believe it was true, but at the time I believed it. So because he had allergies, I thought he had allergies. I wanted a hypoallergenic dog, and I wanted a dog that lived a long time. And Bichons can live like 20 years, right? So I got Bichon Frises because they were hypoallergenic. They're supposed to live to 20. Both my Bichons died when they were 13, and I am 100% convinced, I believe it for sure, that they died because I got them fully vaccinated and because of the food that they had. When I was in vet school, never once, and I've heard physicians say the exact same thing, and I believe this is for sure accurate, you're not taught what is in the vaccine. You don't know. What you're taught, whether you're a veterinarian, a physician, whatever it is, you are taught this is the vaccine schedule. They're safe, effective. You need, whether you're a veterinarian like I was, and you need to get the puppy at 8 weeks, 60, whatever, you know, whether you're a physician and you have a child and you're a pediatrician, you get them at whatever it is. This is what you don't know what's in it. You don't know that you're giving your child dead babies, not vaccinated, aborted fetuses, AIDS, what the heck else is in there. You're giving them this crap. Same thing with your animals. You're giving them this, God knows what it is. And then you hear the same thing about these vaccines with COVID and 5G technology. And
That's a whole different, yeah, that's a rabbit hole. And it's like, if it is true, where did it start? Like, where did it all begin? And has it always been this way? And but the bottom line, I think it comes from for us is that, you know, slaves or not, like, it boils down to our relationship with God, you know, a spiritual relationship with us and God, because it's just too big for us. It really is. It's crazy what's going on. It really is. The vaccines, there was the doctors that were getting paid to vaccinate as many people as possible. A vaccine by Pfizer that was created in 6 months when they said it would take years to create a vaccine. I mean,
you guys, I'm gonna tell you this, all right? I had secondary, this like just really pisses me off. I had secondary infertility. I cannot get pregnant, and I'm gonna tell you something. The desire I had to get pregnant was beyond what I could even tell you. It had to happen. I had to have a baby. Like, this was like, I had to. And I have this child, right? The trauma of not being able to get pregnant was horrific. Finally get pregnant, and I'm pregnant with 3 children. So I go through this hell. I can't tell you the trauma that this was. I could not get pregnant. So finally I'm pregnant. And I'm pregnant with triplets. Oh my God, I'm triplets. 2 of the babies didn't have a heartbeat. And the doctor said to me, now granted the doctor wanted me to abort 2 of them anyways, right? But so I had 2 without a heartbeat. And he was like, let's wait 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it takes some, maybe they'll, like, whatever. I was 5 weeks pregnant. So it was like, sometimes it takes 6 weeks, whatever. Like, could be right. It's also possible that your body could reabsorb these children. So here I am, devastated. All right, I'm married to a narcissist. So I'm like 2 weeks. I have to go waiting to this doctor's appointment, waiting to see if I'm going to have, like, I'm pregnant or if I'm not pregnant. My babies are dead, whatever. So 2 weeks of absolute hell trauma. And it turns out that my body had reabsorbed them. So I'm eating my own children, right? So I'm like going through this hell trauma. I have 1 child, my son, who's alive, right? His heart's beating, and I thank God. And I'm moving forward. I'm going through this, and then I'm released from the fertility doctor, and he's like, you go to your regular gynecologist, whatever, deal with this, regular pediatrician. So I'm doing this, and I'm talking to my doctor, and my pediatrician's like, oh my gosh, you definitely have to have a flu shot. You need to have a flu shot because you could lose this other baby, because something happens, they could abort this child. I'm scared to death. I'm freaking the hell out. I'm so freaked out. I lost 2 babies, and my body ate my 2 children. Couldn't have this baby. I need this baby. And I did every single thing the doctor said, everything. I gained like 50 pounds of my pregnancy. Like, whatever I had to do, I could not lose this child. Today I think about it, and it was all a freaking lie. It was all a lie. It was all bull crap. I'm getting these vaccinations for nothing.
As I said, like, it's people like to put a label on it, like conspiracy theory, and just automatically dismiss. But I think the more we're unlearning, and the more that's being uncovered, is like feels like a mass awakening going on. Or maybe it's just me. So we just wanted you guys to leave a comment or tell us how you feel. But it definitely feels like the world's being run by a bunch of narcissists and psychopaths.
Yeah, let us know what you think. I'm sorry if I was like emotional. I'm just like, as you can see, like, this is just really weighing very, very heavily on me.
Yeah, it's been a rough patch for Sharon, but she's getting through it. She's still staying strong, and she wants to be weak sometimes, and that's what I'm here for. And hopefully I could show up and suit up and do what I have to do for her, because I love her.
I want to be a woman, you guys. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to be a woman and be nurturing and sweet and take care of my family. All right, thank you so much for listening, you guys. I appreciate it. I hope you guys liked the video. Leave a comment, and we'll see you later on in the week. Bye, guys.
Good night, you guys. A good day.